You're standing at the end of a road before a small brick building, in search of adventure. So take your first steps into Colossal Cave. The lantern is now lit. Explore the vast darkness of the mythical Colossal Cave, but beware the many obstacles that stand in your way. Zizzy, you feel a strange pulling sensation. Black Rod. Discover the valuable treasures held within. And brave, perilous encounters that threaten to end your quest quickly and without mercy. With many locations to traverse, secrets to find, and miles of caverns to explore, you'll never know just what your own adventure inside Colossal Cave will bring. Colossal Cave, reimagined by Roberta Williams. The only way out is in. Buy now wherever games are sold.
Hey everybody, it's Ron with Ron's Computer Videos. I want to thank you for taking time out of your evening and spending it right here with us. Wonderful interview, two great guests this time. Let's get right to it. This week, we're going to kind of continue our theme talking about Colossal Cave with the co-producer, Marcus Mera, and of course, friend of the channel, big box enthusiast, super creative guy, Sir Randall. How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing good.
All right. Yeah.
Thanks
for having us.
No, thanks for coming on. In the pre-interview, Marcus, I was kind of saying, I was like, I remember meeting you at VCF East a couple of years ago, and you had an amazing display, because this is right about the time that Colossal Cave it had launched, was getting ready to launch, but you were at that point where it's like, we're starting the marketing push on this for sure. And you had you had the ability to play on like PDP mainframe or mini computer, and it was on a bunch of different platforms there on your desk. Would you tell us maybe a little bit about that initial display? Because I was very impressed, and it reminded me about all the amazing ways you could kind of play this game over the years.
So it's a 50-year-old game that was originally a text adventure that you would play on a teletype.
Mm-hmm.
And during the production of the new revival of Colossal Cave, we went with a VR version. So my booth was basically the origin, the text version playing on a teletype, all the way to VR as much as I could. So I think I had like an Apple III running Adventure. And then I had the PC version and the VR version. And then I think I even had a Switch version. And so, yeah, it was really cool. And, VCF is one of my favorite vintage computer or like festivals there is.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a military base, Camp Evans,
Mm-hmm.
former, military base, retired one. So it has like these cool museums, not just, computer stuff. Like you can go watch like tanks, like bazookas, and then they had the whole trains. They have the toy trains, and the radio and all this different really cool vintage equipment. So I really love it. So it was cool.
The I remember your booth that again you did have a lot of different ways to kind of experience the game, all the way from the very, very beginning all the way up, like you were mentioning, with the VR version of the game. And I again, was very impressed at the time. I sat down at the teletype and played for a few minutes, and but there was a point in the event where there were a lot of people crowded around, and I was like, I think my booth was a little bit down and around the corner, so I would always go and check things out. But you seem to have consistent traffic at the table the whole weekend, so that's good. It tells me that people were excited about what you were doing.
Awesome. So we just had another VCF when we were showing off Sir Randall's treasure chest with all the treasures of Colossal Cave in like these minis. Like I had made actual pieces in bronze and then gold plate them or platinum plate them or silver plate them, and then had pearls and then Sir Randall, please tell him about the chest. I mean, that was one epic piece of just amazing treasure chest.
Oh man, that one was so we were thinking about he was thinking about just getting like a chest, like, just so we can just buy one. And I was like, you know what, let me try making one. So I was like, okay, so this is the first chest I've ever made. So I really had to think about it. But so then we were going back and forth, like he was telling me what he kind of wants, but he pretty much, I have creative control, but he was like, I kind of want to look a little bit like this. So, so what I did is like, well, if I'm going to be making it out of cardboard, I wanted to make it, but I want to build it like a real chest. So what I did is I made the planks. They're printed though, but I use like photo matte paper so that it looks like, it's not shiny. And then for the other side, I used really expensive like photo paper, but it was designed to actually, it had a little metallic sheen to it. So that way it looked like it was metal. So, and that's what I did. So I built the whole chest. And then the one issue I had was the top. And I remember showing Marcus, it's like, the only way I'm going to make this work is I have to use math to do it. So I was showing him how I...
because it was curved. See, I originally thought it was just going to be like a box with just the printed chest on it. He's like, no, Marcus. No. No, I'm going to show you how we do this next level. And then he just goes and makes this really incredible work of art.
I am always impressed with projects and stuff that Randall is working on, just because I know how I would do it, and then he will be like, oh no, it's this 50 point process to do something small that I would have just printed, Instead, it's like, well, you embellish it and you got to use this very specific type of wax, and then it changes the sheen of the paper, and it's.
So you got rid of the fingerprints and UV coated. Oh yeah, show them off. That's the fire one. Oh, it's pretty cool.
And it's so I figured out how to do that. Like before, it because this is photo paper, but it doesn't feel like a cardboard box. So I had to really like when I'm making these right now for our the people. He's going to be selling them, and so I was like, okay, I need to really make sure that these are premium. So I found, like I was talking last week, was it Renaissance wax? And if you put on that, it just, and when you buff it in and everything, it feels like a normal cardboard box. And it does thicker free and has UV protection, so it doesn't, in the thing.
Yeah, help protect your game when you place it in direct UV light.
I do shrink wrap them too. So it's really only like, it's like anything else. You open it. It's not going to be.
And then the cool thing though too is so like you open it up.
Oh, look at that.
That this is like he's like, I want the old Sierra slip-on, with the slip cover. And I was like, okay, I could do that. And this is before I actually made the box actually perfect. I was actually, before I started this, I didn't know how to make.
By the way, let's go back to the sleeve for a second, because you remember originally he made two parts and put it together so that was two seams.
Right.
And I'm like, is there any way that we could just make it look only one seam? He's like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, I got this. And then he did it. Look, now it's like only one seam, and it looks so much better. It's like so good.
And I also covered it up so you can't really see the seam. So it looks like it's one piece. I went,
really
I
awesome.
did it a little better. So,
I remember you were telling me that your printer, you can print like 3 meters or something like that in a single go. So that way it made it easier to just do it as a single seamed print.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't realize that before. And then Marcus is like, I really want it on one paper, and then I agreed with him, because it needs to be. So I was like, all right, let me look into it, and I found out that it's like, oh, you can print 3 meters long. It only can be 13 inches wide, but you can use miles long. I was like, yeah, we can do it. So, but yeah, so Marcus did the cover.
Both sides.
But the dragon's pretty awesome.
And then you added the fire effect, which really took it to the next level.
Yeah, well, what he wanted at first was red foil and blue foil, and I just don't really have the equipment to do that. So, and I was like,
the gold one came out nice. I should go get that sample. That came out beautiful.
So I was like, how about a fire and ice edition? He's like, I guess we'll see what it looks like, and apparently he's really happy with that.
Oh no, they're awesome.
It's cool because it's another little thing. It's more.
They're so good.
So you can, if you're a super collector, now you got to get all 3.
I love collaborating, right? Like I would not have pulled off that fire and ice look on my own. It just wasn't. I had a very basic silhouette of it that I made, a basic graphic. He took it and was like, "Oh, let me do this to it," and it really took my art and made it like just so much better, so much better. So it became our art. And, that's why I like being a collaborative artist, because, 2 heads sometimes are better.
I agree.
And there's a lot of neat stuff that actually comes in the box. Since we're talking about the special edition and what's included and all of that, there's a lot of neat stuff in the box that is things that you created and I had no idea that you were kind of an artisan. You're like a jewelry maker.
Oh, you didn't know I was a jeweler?
I didn't know that.
Oh, dude, that's the whole thing. It was like, who's this jeweler that came out of nowhere to partner with Ken Williams and to make a game for the first time in forever?
Yeah. No, again, I didn't know that until I started doing more research about things, because Randall showed off some of the items,
really
and
amazing jewelry pieces, like really epic stuff. That was my career. Like I had my own factory. I'm trying to find. Do you have the USB stick? Do you have the Kenacell?
No.
I've seen it though. The lamp.
The lamp USB.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, the lamp USB is pretty awesome. That thing is. Yeah. So
no expense spared. That's for sure.
None.
It's a very premium experience.
As you can see, I'm a fan of having nice collection of big box stuff, and Sir Randall is obviously the most awesome guy to really get involved in. He's so passionate about it. So I think together, our 2 passions working together, it's just making one of the best. I mean, who else would have come up with this treasure chest and make it with the different strips going across and curved and boxed? But then who else would have put a 24 karat gold nugget in there? That's a jeweler.
Right.
And make an actual jewel trident that's 18 karat gold diamond encrusted, and make actual 999 silver bars with the Colossal Cave stamp on it.
Yeah.
For the actual, and a real commodity, not just collector's edition.
Sure. Something with real value. Yes.
Real value. I think is I don't think has been done before.
Marcus, I can tell you who. Artists who care. Artists that are looking to take something to that next level, which is why I've been super impressed by this whole project. So, but we've talked about the special edition, and we will get back to that here in just a minute. But what I want to absolutely ask is, Marcus, how did you originally get involved with the project?
Oh no, I mean, I'm co-producer of Colossal Cave with Ken and Roberta Williams.
Right. And, how'd that happen? You ran into them at Costco one day and you were like, hey, you know what you should do?
No. The story goes, and this is, I think, destiny. So I was starting to collect video games as a kind of therapeutic thing, because I was getting divorced, and it was something that really took my attention away from that kind of misery, and it was a pleasure for me. one day I saw on Facebook Marketplace King's Quest, like in my face. Like, in fact, it's this exact copy. This exact copy,
Yeah.
the PC Junior version.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so I messaged the lady and I'm like, hi, I'm interested and how much do you want for this? And she goes, what do you offer? And I go, $80. And she's like, well, there's like, 4 more boxes filled of this stuff. That's not enough. So I said, I'm like, how much do you want? And then she wouldn't reply. And I kept on message. She wouldn't reply. So I switched to my other account. I have like a burner account. So I go onto that account and I'm like, hey, is this game available? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, so how much you want? She goes, how much you offer? I go, $200. She goes, all right, that's fine. Sold.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm like,
Come
what's
get
the
it.
address?
Yeah.
And she gives me this address and it's like Monticello, New Jersey, all the way in the corner. It's like 250-mile trip. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God. But I mean, it was COVID and I got nothing better to do. I'm like, so, F it. I hopped in the car, drove all the way out there. I get there and I get out of the car and she sees me. She's like, hey, aren't you the other guy from the other Facebook account? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin.
I'm like, I'm just here for the games.
Yeah.
So I come in and she shows me the box and I'm like, all right, $200 for the boxes. And she's no. She's like, just this box. So I looked and it had the King's Quest and it had some other game stuff and all the other boxes were like, business software, and I don't really, I care, but don't care.
Yeah, I don't need any big box copies of Quicken. Thank you.
I think $200 is enough for me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Peachtree Accounting.
And I was only really there for that King's Quest. Whatever reason, I knew that King's Quest was special at that particular moment. I wanted it. So I get it. I go all the way home. I lay out all the games, and I take a picture and I post it on like one of these Facebook not marketplace, but like groups.
Yeah, the collector group stuff.
Yeah. So I post it, and then all of a sudden I get like a ton of replies. And this famous collector, this guy named Enrico Ricciardo, he's also like a Playboy photographer or something like that. So in Italy, so he's got the Italian thing. So he's like, "No, you have something I want." I'm like, "Oh, great." So I'm thinking it's the King's Quest. He's like, "No, it's that other one in the folder, the IBM folder, Adventures in Serenia."
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh, what's that?" And he goes, "That you don't know what that is?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "That's Wizard and Princess, which is the second game that Roberta made, but it was rebranded for IBM." Yep. So I'm like, "All right, cool." Yeah, no, I'm not selling it.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a no. So I go to the Amiga group with Amiga Bill. Do you know him?
Yeah. Bill's a nice guy. Yep.
Oh, Bill is awesome. He's like one of the best people on this planet. And I go to the Amiga group, and he starts talking about how during COVID we're going to go at the VCF, and we're going to still have VCF, but it's going to be live stream presentations. But we're going to be at the base, but it will be only us, 6 feet apart, blah blah blah, wearing masks, and total insanity. So I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. And I know Jeff Brace, who's the showrunner, and it came to my head, why don't I present about these two games that I just found? That could be cool. Sure. So I call up Jeff and I'm like, hey Jeff, Marcus here. He goes, what's up? I go, I found these two really rare Sierra games, King's Quest for the IBM PC Junior and Adventures in Serenia, and I thought it'd be really cool if I talk about the history of Sierra and online systems and how, because we always talk about the computers, like we need to do a little bit more about gaming and like, because that's a big part of it. He's like, great idea, Marcus. You know, Ken Williams, the guy that designed the game, he's going to be also presenting. So we'll have you lead in. And I'm just like, what? Like, say what? So all of a sudden, like, I'm like, now, like, the heat is on, right? So I go to Enrico. I'm like, Enrico, you won't believe this. Like, I got to present, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be at VCF and Ken Williams, and I don't want to sound stupid. And he goes, well, why'd they pick you? And I'm like, shut up, that's not the question I'm asking. Help me out. You know your games. He goes, well, I know Ken Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, why don't I introduce you? So, okay, cool. Next thing you know, I'm like seeing on my Facebook chat pops up Ken Williams. Hi, Marcus, I'm Ken Williams. And I'm like, hi. Yeah, so I'm like, I got to do this presentation and I don't want to sound stupid. And it's about King's Quest and the original game. And I found Adventures in Serenia. I was like, I just so happened just wrote a book. Why don't I send you a copy? There's a chapter dedicated to each one of those games.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way. So I get a copy of the book. I'm reading through it. And then I do the presentation. And he's like, wow, you did better than I did. I'm like, don't stop it. Come on, man. And but then people were complimenting. They're like, yeah, Marcus, that was pretty good. I'm like, oh, awesome. And so then like about a month later, it was like around Christmas in 2021, like 2020, 21. And I just finished reading the book. I read the whole thing. So I messaged him, and I was messaging him periodically, and sometimes he would reply and sometimes he wouldn't. Sure. And but this time I was like, hey Ken, I just finished reading your book. He goes, what'd you think? I'm like, wouldn't it be great if you made a comeback like Steve Jobs did at Apple and bring Sierra back to life and like become this dominant video game company again? And then he just like writes grinning, working on something. And I'm like, well, I know you don't know this, but as a jeweler, I do a lot of 3D modeling for my 3D printing, and I can make whatever artwork you want. I'm an artist. He goes, you're an artist? Oh, I didn't know you're an artist. I'll be in touch in a few days. I'm like, oh, okay. And like a few days later, hey, Marcus, what are you up to? I go, anything you want, big boss. Whatever you need. Yeah. And then like a hurricane comes through my room, and like my books are like I had like this super neat room. Like I was like in this Japanese mode where I wanted everything perfect and clean and like very minimalist, to like books of Dungeons and Dragons and like all this other stuff. Cause he's like, did you ever hear of Colossal Cave? Well, actually in the very beginning, he goes, we're going to make a educational game that teaches programming. And I was like, gee, that's great.
It's Mother Goose's boots.
That's not what I want to do. I'll do it, Ken, because it's you. But I really want to make a game, something fun. And so then I guess it was like the next day or something like that. And he was like, oh, I spoke to Roberta, and she says we should remake this game, Colossal Cave. Have you heard of it? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of it, but I think the one I played was Zork. That's what I told him. So yeah. I don't remember playing Colossal Cave. But then as you like actually played it, like all the elements of the game seems to be the DNA in all gaming. So you all feel like you have played Colossal Cave when you play it. And that's why the moon logic, as they say, tends to be not as hard, because it's like baked into the way games evolved all from that. So you kind of naturally kind of figure it out if you don't cheat and like go online and, get the answers, but then you actually play the game.
Yes. You'll
find that moon logic is kind of cool. It's kind of like a psychic ability, right? Like, you kind of just, it comes to you, the answers. It's not obvious. And so I love that. I always felt like Adventure Game has that.
It certainly does. I played those games when I was young, and my school had, when I was in grade school, we just had like one Apple II Plus, and we had like a copy of Logo, and I think some other MECC kind of things. But when by the time I got to junior high, we actually, or middle school rather, we actually had like a real computer lab with a bunch of Apple IIe's. And they rolled out tons of stuff. So we had Mystery House, we had Wizard and the Princess, we had a lot of those early Sierra titles because they were just like, it's just what's the worst that can happen? Just turn these kids loose. And
That's cool.
yeah, so I was very fortunate I got to play some of those things, and actually in later years with recollecting things, there's a lot of times that stuff has come from schools that is like, oh, dad was the former librarian at a grade school somewhere and in the 80s, and you will get a copy of Wizard and the Princess stuck in with all the stuff that it'll be like a huge stamp of like some school district on it, but there's the disc, so I appreciate the whole thing of like collecting and finding all that weird stuff, but that's an amazing story of just right place, right time, and then not taking no for an answer, and then leveraging that into this partnership with the Williamses. So that's really cool.
That's the first time I'm hearing this too, so it's awesome for me too. It's like, this is so cool.
Yeah, so congratulations on all of this, because
There's
is
so much
a
more I
whirlwind
can tell
adventure.
you, like from the early days of developing the game to when Roberta hops in and starts developing the game, to like going into VR, and then everything else like that went along with it. I mean, I remember this one story. This is pretty funny. So I'm working with Ken, and Ken's like, "Hey Marcus, Roberta just won like Hall of Fame award from CES.
Yeah.
And it's in New York City at a gala. We're not going to be able to make it, but if you want, you can go pick up the award for us, and it might be cool."
Hey, it's an open bar. They're going to feed you. Just show up.
Right? So I'm like, all right, I'll go. What the heck? I'm like at the CES, and I'm meeting like the founder of the internet, like Vint Cerf, the president of Panasonic, like just crazy, former president of Sony Entertainment, just wild stuff. And I'm sitting at the dinner table, and then they're like, and receiving the award for Roberta Williams is Marcus Mera. I go up on stage, and I'm just like holding the award, and I'm like, well, Roberta's really grateful for her, blah, 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 blah. Thanks for having us. And by the way, we're making a game, and they're back. That's like on stage saying that. Oh man, so cool. Like CES, that was like one of the biggest conventions of the 80s and 90s, and even today the CES show is huge.
Oh yeah, that's where you unveil a lot of stuff. So
can you imagine, like I'm on stage with the president of Panasonic, the founder of the internet. It was like so wild.
It is wild. That's really great. I was going to ask, one of the things I have on my list of questions here is, because early development and stuff, everything starts with an idea, and then you basically you have to figure out what the scope of that is going to be. And I promise that with a property like Colossal Cave Adventure, there are always going to be a lot of expectations, because again, it is one of those formative games that everybody has played, and it's influenced so many other games. So how do you make a game that is going to be able to scratch that nostalgic itch, but at the same time and be faithful, but then at the same time make quality of life improvements and be something that modern gamers can kind of more easily kind of interact with?
Oh, Roberta doesn't care about that. She makes what she wants, the way she wants, and it's the way it is. It's her game. Absolutely. So I had a lot of suggestions on how there should be a Roberta Williams version of this game. She wanted to keep it very much the same game. And, it is a 50-year-old game. So there is some things about it that I don't think connects with modern gamers. So as like the mainstream modern gamers, but I think a lot of kids and teenagers love this game because it's so difficult. It's like, if you don't cheat and you just play the game, it's a challenge. And I think they like it. And then there's like people doing speed runs through it, and trying to get all points, you know, and
Yeah.
finding every little thing about it. And I find that very interesting that they do that.
Yeah. Well, for sure. I mean, there's a whole culture around that where people really want to completely understand a game. And like you were mentioning kind of earlier, that the this game is famous for having like little jumps in logic, or moon logic is what gamers kind of started to call that later. But the that the challenge is part of that fun, because yeah, you die and you come back, and you die and you come back, and you learn a little each time. You get really good at making maps. You figure out like what it is that you need to do at certain points in the game, so that way that you can actually progress. And in those old days, it encouraged you to talk to other people. And even though it's a single player experience, you were asking your buddy, or you were asking somebody else in class, like, hey, how did you get past this thing, or what am I doing wrong? So I think that between kind of the legend of the challenge and all of that, and kind of the force to, like you're saying, oh, you could cheat, or you could just, whatever, to interact with people and try to figure out this stuff is
Listen,
really...
you can't just cheat, because the dwarves will kill you.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they're serious.
And
But
like, I remember a whole other thing where like I was more inspired by Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls.
sure.
And I was really trying to keep the art direction as close as that as possible, because I figured if we were to launch like that, the gamers would accept it. Like, they'd be like, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
But once we switched to the VR version, whether it was the Quest 2 and we had to go to mobile graphics, oh man, that was a brutal shift.
Yeah. Well, hardware limitations and things, but I'm sure that the kind of the thought on that is PC VR been really great, but to have it on like Quest 2, which was like the #1 Christmas gift of that year.
Yeah, but I
your
would
install
have,
base would be really wide.
no, no, you got to launch on the PC first. And PC VR first, and have that being successful, like people love the game.
Yeah.
Then I would port to like a mobile version, dumb down the graphics, because you want the initial graphics to be awesome, where people are just like, whoa.
Right.
And then go into a mobile version of the game afterwards. Not the other way around. Because
so Marcus, you're saying don't put your AAA game on the Game Boy and then later release it for the Super Nintendo. I got it.
Pretty much. But that's lesson learned. It's we only had one shot at this, right? So it was like, but I did mention to Ken that I said, look, in today's gaming, DLC is a big thing.
Yeah.
And if we were to do for the collector's edition, for instance, if we were to do a special edition for it where it has Easter eggs, like King Graham running around, you'll never be able to catch him, but you see him in the distance. Or like, I had some really good ideas, but more deaths maybe, like if you give the food to the dragon, it bites your arm off or something like that, or
maybe some poisonous snakes.
You give the wrong treasure to the troll and he bonks you over the head with the sledgehammer thing that he's got. Yeah. And then maybe like a whole other area or take one of the areas that are kind of like there's nothing there, and just kind of add a puzzle or two there.
Sure.
To Roberta-vise it a little bit.
Yeah.
She did do one thing, which I was really happy, because when we were discussing, and we would have like these 8-hour design sessions. So I've been very fortunate to be able to design with her for like on this project, and get to hear her way of thinking and designing and creating. And, she's amazing. She's very, 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 very smart and creative and experimental and all of that. So that was really fun. You remember the cartoon Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
So I always imagined that this game is you in the real world that falls into this Twilight Zone episode called Colossal Cave. And you're in this world and you have these dwarves and the dragon, and it's like an amusement park ride, like in Dungeons and Dragons. And I really love that she grabbed that from me and really ran with that. That's why we have that kind of weird ending where the cave is closing, get to the exits,
Right.
yeah. So I really love that. Oh, and the PDP 11 in the end, like where you see it, where it puts the score.
Yes.
What I really wanted was the teletype to be there, and Roberta is on the teletype, and when you get to 350 points, she greets you and says, like she was the dungeon master controlling the game, kind of thing, and says congratulations, and then the elves carry you out on their shoulders, and when you get out, you see Ken at the yacht waving at you. And then you get on the yacht, and then the yacht goes into the sunset, and you sail away. Like I thought that would have been amazing.
Sure. A special secret ending.
We got some of that, not all of that, but we got some of it in there.
You got to shoot big. You got to shoot big on a project like this, because just like you said, you've really got kind of one shot at this, and you want to stick the landing. You want to give people what they want, and then hopefully kind of exceed those expectations a little bit, especially with if you're trying to relaunch a company or you're trying to do multiple projects and all that. You gotta have a strong first outing, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, I will tell you what, it's a beautiful game. The website is even funny because there's a lot of things that are kind of Easter eggs that are on the website that actually do.
Oh, you just remind me. I gotta back up that website because there's a new one launching this week.
Right. Well, I'm happy to help.
Thanks for reminding me about that.
Yeah. Well, it's again, there's a lot going on the website, and there's little kind of nods to things that are in the game, because you as you scroll through, there's terminals and things like that are like, wait a minute, why is there a terminal here in the middle of this, sort of.
So by the way, so Colossal Cave is Roberta's inspiration, right? Like that was the game. She didn't make that game.
Right.
That was Will Crowther and Don Woods.
Right.
And her very first game is actually Mystery House.
Yes.
That is her first game. And that's the game I'm working on right now. Like I'm actually like every lesson I learned from Colossal Cave through the whole process, because I was the one guy that was like there from the very beginning, from when we were just working on a concept to marketing the game to launching the game. Right. I brought Unity in, and like I brought the first team members in, and so till now we're making a collector's edition of it. And I honestly feel like at VCF, I felt the excitement of Colossal Cave. Like people actually all of a sudden were like super enthusiastic about it, buying out everything I had.
Yeah.
And really loved our designs that we did, Sir Randall. And it's not a joke. Like they really love it. They were like, oh, I had one guy ask me about the full gold edition version. I was like, really? Okay. But I think we're going to do really well. And Too Many Games is a different crowd. So like VCF was the perfect crowd for us, right? Like total retro. But I got to tell you, getting a teletype to work at Too Many Games, then you hear the thing, and the kids are like, what is that? Yeah. What is that? Oh, and by the way, here, try the VR version of the game right here, and it really draws them in. And you know what's one of my biggest draws is my Apple III. You know what that is? Like,
yeah, that was after the Apple II Plus. Apple was like, hey, we need to get serious about business. And they stayed serious about business for about 2 years, and then they were like, this Lisa thing this is the future.
But I really feel like the Apple III monitor, right? Like, Apple IIs were using Apple III monitor, right? Always
right. Well, they had a warehouse. They had several warehouses full. So there was a point where they were like, we've got to get these moved. So
have you ever seen an Apple II monitor?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah,
I've never seen one with the logo too.
Well, hold on. It's right. Sorry, I forgot how hands work. It's right there. That's the little, I was gonna say grayscale, but that's not accurate. It's the green screen version. because this is a 2E with the duo disc, and then it's just got like the green screen sitting on top of
So
it.
what I like about the 3 is that the monitor and everything, it just like looks perfect together, perfect
Yeah,
fit.
and it's wider. It's a bigger case than the Apple II, because when they sold them for the Apple IIs, then they had to make a special little kind of a
Oh,
bridge
really?
that would sit over the top, because it's wider than
Ah.
the Apple II cases. So
Oh yeah, and then you would
'cause it
slide
was-
it underneath.
yeah, because it was all designed like the Apple III is. It's much wider, and keyboards integrated and everything, just like the Apple II. But
So interesting. I believe personally that and I think it's factual. The Apple III is the first personal computer to do an emulation that you would buy.
yeah,
Because you would emulate the Apple II
Yeah.
in order to run the software. So you have to stick an emulation disk in,
Right.
loads it into the RAM,
Mhm.
and then you can run Apple II
Mhm.
software on it.
Certainly with like built-in emulation. It was a new computer backward compatible with the other thing. Because a lot of those days it'd be like, oh, here's the new Tandy thing, and it's 100% incompatible with the other Tandy stuff that you own. But on the Apple II, they do have a lot of, you had to buy a card, like a CPM card or whatever, a language card for whatever this other thing is you wanted to do. But no, you're 100% right.
So Mystery House, Sir Randall, do we have a box? I sent you the artwork.
Yeah.
We got to do
Randall,
that.
you just hold up a piece of green screen, and we'll put it in post.
No, I'm going to be doing that this weekend. That's like my top priority. Now that I got some of the artwork, I really want to make something special out of that. Because I don't want to have the same thing. I mean, I do want a box, but I want it to be
A
special.
mysterious box.
Yes, but I really want to make sure it looks cool, and I really wanted to make it like different but still the same. So I have been running like ideas through my idea, and I think I got something. I'm going to try it this weekend. So
Okay. If not, we revert back to the sliding, the slip box.
Oh yeah.
We could always fall back on that one.
You could also stick with the what they had done with the rest of those high-res adventure titles, and just release it in a sandwich bag.
I was thinking if you're going to do something, it could be like the King's Quest 1 box. Like this one. Have you seen this one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like opens up like this, because this is also Ultima 2 comes in this box as well. And Ultima 1.
Oh, you mean the flip top? Yeah, those I
Flip
can do
top.
every day.
Yeah.
So that's a one option.
Oh, those I can do all the time. Like I've gotten those down. It's the yeah. I'll have to think of something.
I know it'll be great, whatever it is. And if
Did you print up more of the Mystery House cards?
No, that's next on my list. I've been
don't forget
working
that.
really hard on the boxes. So
well, between us recording and this going to air, Randall, if you get something going, you have to let me know, because we'll put it at the end or something.
Okay.
We'll do a sequence at the beginning or something, just to make sure that people can see whatever it is that you're working on, that you can actually share.
We sold out of those cards. You know that, right? The Ziploc bags, so completely like sold out in the day one.
Oh yeah, I was telling him about that. It was like when you were selling the Mystery House, that you were having it. It's like the old school one in a bag with the key and everything. It's so cool.
It was so cool, and like people just gobbled it up, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa. I didn't have that many. I just had 25, but still, just like it was like if I had more, it would have kept going. And VCF is not like a really big show, so I'm hoping for a similar kind of response at Too Many Games. Are you going to be attending Too Many Games?
I will not. I have a couple of things I have to do this summer that I'm helping with, some restoration and some basically saving somebody's collection from storage units this summer, and then I'll be assisting with Kansas Fest in July. So it's eaten up all my PTO.
Ryan and Justin from Screenwave, the guys that run Angry Video Game Nerd,
Yeah.
It's their show. So
Uh-huh.
like Metal Jesus Rocks is coming.
Yeah.
The Pat the NES Punk is coming,
Mhm.
and it's
And it's
usually
it's at the Philly Expo, so it's it's a huge venue. So, and I see pictures of people that have gone in the past. It looks like an amazing time.
it's gonna be fun. So we're going all in, making like a booth, and
Mhm.
you know, we're gonna make an awesome experience. I'm really excited about it, and
I mean,
I'm
if it's
very
anything
excited
like
for
that,
Sir Randall and his
Mhm.
skills to be shown off. Yeah,
Randall,
it's
are you
really cool.
going? Are you going to be there?
no.
What? You
It's
didn't
too
save up
far.
all your PTO?
Well, no. Unfortunately, we have a big project going on during that month, so
Yeah.
I can't go. Like if I ask for time off work, my boss would probably just say no. He'd like no.
Don't
Yeah.
put
Not right
pressure
now.
on him.
Yeah. I'm not.
You're the local one. If you made it, you're the close one.
Yeah, there's you know what? I just wish I had an extra week of PTO every year. It would make my hobby life so much easier. Either that or just somehow independently wealthy or retired and able to pay for everything. Just whatever the universe wants to dump on me.
Did you ever see the Mystery House original trailer that I did?
I've not seen it. I've seen the artwork and I've seen some of the stuff and I've seen the new logo and all, but I know that there's not a ton of stuff out there yet, just because it is still kind of early days. But if it's out, I will make sure to append it to this interview so that
It did
way
so
that
good. Like Fatsumi, the Japanese magazine,
Mhm.
put it out there, and it got like hundreds of thousands of views.
That's
And I was like,
amazing.
oh, oh, that's cool. Yeah, because apparently Sierra was huge in Japan,
Hmm.
and Mystery House, they had like, it was so popular in the early days that they had like somebody redid the graphics, so they have a different version of it in Japan. It's the
Hmm.
same game, but different. The
Right.
drawings are not Roberta's.
Localized, kind of like they did with Police Quest 2. Where
So yeah, so it has like a big following over there.
Yeah, but no, Japan loves Sierra, and I mean, just this is like Thexter. This is like a huge game, but this is a game that was on like the MSX or something that they ended up porting, and that the company that made this got some of their games into the US through Sierra, and then some of Sierra's games ended up in Japan, kind of reciprocally.
I think I have that game, Thexter. Yeah.
Thexter, yeah. It's my manual is at home, but my actual game is at work for some reason. But they always included great little things.
I was
Great
thinking
stuff in
about
the
something
box.
like that for Mystery House. I kind of want to like that fold out map or something. I don't know. Like I'll have to work with you on that one.
Here, I'll have to read my confidential Light and Police Department manual here real fast. It's all about Police Quest. But I'm looking forward to this because, again, I mean, Colossal Cave did well and continues to do well, and it's on so many platforms. It's really
seems like
more
having a second wind right now.
Yes, and more than anything, it's an important game in terms of conservation, just because of who's involved with it and the subject matter itself, just because it's great to have these things updated where people can share those experiences with the next generation and relive it themselves if they choose.
Well, then the today's generation, the youth are going back to analog.
Yeah.
So that's why you're seeing like vinyl record sales are getting big, and that's why like box versions of games do well, and because you want to hold a physical copy of something and it's yours, and
So with everything that's going on with Mystery House, again, early days on this project, does this mean that there might be other Sierra high-res adventures that might end up being games one day? Like, can we expect
the
Wizard and the Princess, or Cranston House, or Ulysses and the Golden Fleece, or
never say never?
Well, I certainly hope that this is all just the beginning of a whole series of great sort of remasters and rethinks and stuff on those games, because they were wonderful. They were a lot of fun back in the day. I have spent a million hours in the library as a youth, and I've played them as an adult. So it's really, really great stuff. And Randall, I cannot wait to see what you've got planned for the Mystery House box, because if it is even just on par with the Colossal Cave, it's going to be amazing.
I'll share what I have when I get done with it. I just really want it special, so I don't want to hurry it. I know that we do have a timeline, because we like to have it before the too many games thing, but I also want to take my time, because I want to make sure it's perfect. So it's the balance of, I have a deadline, but I want to take a little time to make sure it's perfect.
Sure. How far are we in the development of the game? And because Marcus, earlier you were saying that there's you've got some previs or like a demo or enough together to show things off to people.
So the Too Many Games is going to be the demo 2.0.
Right.
It's still a pre-alpha version of the game, refining the game mechanics and improving some of the adding more to it, just kind of expanding on it and making the game. Because when I introduce people to the demo, I warn them that this is not a complete game, and you may have bugs, and it's a breathing, living thing. It's growing. It's getting more and more completed every time. So I'm hoping, like, each show there's a next version of the demo, or until we get to the full launch version of the game, because it's like being done independently. Like, I'm doing it with my Dan and James, and we're doing it ourselves. So we don't have a big publisher behind us. This is just self-funded.
Well, I hope that you guys have a great show at Too Many.
I don't like Kickstarter. Like, I'm like I don't want to ask people for money.
Sure.
Because then I feel like I am indebted to them, right? Like, so as soon as you do a Kickstarter and this guy spends $5 and gets your game, then he's like, "Where's the game?" Like,
yeah.
It's like, dude, you just gave $5. Relax.
Yeah, it was just today. Can you give me 5 minutes to breathe, please?
So I really don't want that. And after watching what happened with Space Venture, and like they,
right. Oh my gosh.
Don't
Those
want
guys,
anything kind of like that. So
I'd
rather just kind of like, okay, work and just keep doing it ourselves and build it out until it's done, and then put it out. That way, there's no pressure. There's no like, when's the game ready? When it's ready.
People they're always gonna say, when is it ready? But at least then you're not under the gun for some sort of contractual obligation or whatever.
Because of $5, he gave $5 and he's on me every single day. Where's my
Sir, I gave you $5. Now please accept my abuse.
So that's what I imagine Kickstarter is like. Like, I'm that petrified of it.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are going the self-funded route. I'm glad that things are moving along. I'm super excited to see some footage and hear some stuff about this 2.0 demo that you've got coming up. And again, Randall, I'm super excited to see what you've got planned as well. But what I would tell people at home is, if you would like to learn more about a Colossal Cave, you can go to the website, which is colossalcave3d.com. It's got information about the game. There's development pictures. There's all kinds of stuff out there. There'll be links and stuff that go out there for the deluxe edition that Randall and I talked about. Marcus, Randall, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I feel super connected to this process now.
This is good.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.